first track action in a Premier Class Grand Prix here in the Czech Republic in 5 years. The first time we've had the drama unfold in front of packed hillsides and packed grandstands since 2019. Could not have picked a better day to return to MotoGP action here in Brno, could they? It's a scorcher as we approach late July. Who is going to be heading to the beach happy from just as he was behind Mark Marquez at the end of the sprint yesterday. He's going to tail the World Championship lead to the grid. Marquez, for just the second time in 2025, Jorge Martin at the adrenaline factory gets to experience that burst of adrenaline as you come to the line in the MotoGP race. His only other previous Grand Prix start on the factory came under the sail lights in Qatar. That was at round 4. Of course, he's been sidelined the last 7 Grand Prix with multiple serious injuries. He says he's never been fitter. Fighting for once again then is the Martinator. Is there anybody that can take the fight over 21 laps up here against Marc Marquez on the factory Ducati? First gear engaged, revs up, lights out, we're racing in MotoGP here. Everyone just as demonstrated this is a great launch of competition by Marquez. We're going to jump on the field and Marquez Mark into the first corner. Quartararo just squeezing in front of Marco that second, the factory of Aprilia to keep hold of second place. Who leads Marquez early on through turn 2.
Better start than yesterday for Alex Marquez, but he still didn't gain much ground off the start. Marc Marquez yesterday attacked into turn 3 of Bagnaia. He does exactly the same today.
That's brave by Bezzecchi. Is he going to make that work? He drops across the road, the factory rider. Immediately into P3. Bagnaia's back through a Marquez who ran wide on the exit 4. And now Bezzecchi. What a first that has been by Bezzecchi. He's already picked up Quartararo with an all-day smooth through 3. Now he's topping it out with Marc into the stadium section we go.
So from attacking, Marc Marquez then being attacked into turn 5. So he's dropped a place to 3rd. Then Quartararo and Pedro Acosta is running 5th place. Up 2 places and back in that leading group as he was yesterday.
Bit of early work to do that here in Brno at 4. Bezzecchi, the factory of Aprilia rider, hops the inside curve there through 10. Mark can do. Tranmere has made a bit of fist of it from 5th place in the grid lead in. Yesterday in the sprint we dropped to dead last. Is currently in 6th spot.
Already got track there into 10th from Marc Marquez, who surely will want to try and get past that Aprilia. And the earliest available opportunity. And his teammate, Bagnaia, who looks set to lead in this first lap. But Bezzecchi looks like he might be set to attack as we nearly get contact there between Zarco and Martin.
Yeah, getting hectic and further down the ocean with a front row seat was Luca Marini on the factory Honda. So into Bagnaia's got really hot. Turn 13. He's going to have Marquez and Bezzecchi all over the grid. Costa also looking to hang down Quartararo. KTM's going 5th. So Bagnaia lost all his momentum in that 4th sector. And now Bezzecchi side. The 2 close friends go. And now it's Bezzecchi then in the lead here for the first time. The Aprilia man taking full advantage of Bagnaia's slip up.
He's trying to rectify the damage immediately. A fork slowly comes Marc Marquez. Surely he's not going to take 2. He is going to take 1. And he passes his teammates to take a lap in a row.
Loves that turn 3 with the brakes, doesn't he, Mark? So Bagnaia, well, he sort of chopped his own shoelaces, didn't he, going into turn 4. Into 3rd place. Immediately back through on Mark. Down the hill. Looking down a break as I listen to 5. Marco just 2 good in the front end of that factory Ducati. Bagnaia has to sit in 3rd.
Costa's pulling Quartararo. He's now right behind him. Here comes Bagnaia into the stadium. He's trying to force his way through. There is no gap there. Into turn 7. Marquez was letting people through there yesterday. He wasn't letting Bagnaia through today.
Still the big interest in this top 6 is Mir on the factory Honda. He's now closing on the rear tyre. Quartararo, in fact, he's trying to think about a move there. 2 ex-MotoGP world champions, of course. Bezzecchi, this is not unfamiliar territory for him to be leading. What is unfamiliar territory is to have 93 and Marc Marquez right on his rear tyre. In a rather uncomfortable position in MotoGP.
Just behind that Mir Quartararo battle is Alex Marquez in 7th place. He has now cleared Raul Fernandez on his first run. He's trying to do so. Marquez
Alex Marquez. It's been a wretched for the Spanish rider. Marquez will be heading into the sort of ranking. He stays on two wheels here on the factory Ducati. Over 100 points clear in the World Championship. Tranmere caught up once again.
Taken down by Alex Marquez, who leaves Bruno with no points at all. Benzeki sets the fastest lap of the race on 1:54.4, but Bagnaia is 55.1. He cannot match this pace in the early stages, which is why he's more under pressure from Acosta than he is from his team.
As Acosta now flies the KTM on the inside, Bagnaia, John Black, as far as the Spanish is concerned, on the brakes into turn 3. So now Acosta on course for what would just be his second double podium in the MotoGP World Championship.
Making a move, let's see what he can do now, keep it closing on the top two. Of course, everyone in the field, with the exception of John Zarco's on the same tyre, and Tranmere is still demonstrating with Alex Marquez. It's not often that you see overtakes into turn 12.
Yeah, Alex out the front and wiping out Tranmere in the process. Poor old Tranmere. What does he have to do to catch any kind of break? That's now 27 Grand Prix laps alone. It's 39th DNF now in total for Honda. The last three, you have to say, have been nothing to do with the luckless Spaniard. Cannot catch a break as Bastianini. But we saw this from the beast yesterday, starting from 11th on the grid, charging his way through to the top three in the sprint. Well, he's got beast mode engaged once again here at Brno. Bastianini now up into the spot.
Some warning signs for some of the riders up there. Bastianini's got into the top 6 this early, which every single better. As he goes Fabio Quartararo, Bastianini, if he does live up to his long-time reputation as the tyre whisperer, then you'd expect him to get stronger and stronger. Quartararo's 5th place.
That little exchange reminds me of Alonso Lopez and Sergio Garcia. A few verbals and a bit of fisticuffs in the gravel trap at the very same corner in Moto 3 back in the day. Quartararo's got big bother brewing here, hasn't he? It's coming in the shape of the 23 KTM of Enea. Bastianini coming into this Czech round has shown nothing like being a podium contender, has he? It was been a real tough transition over from the factory Ducati to the KTM. I mean, this is a case of if not when, but it's right now on the inside of Quartararo. He goes, beautiful move on the KTM by Bastianini. The early pace he's got here, he's going to be a podium threat, no question.
Unfortunately, Raul Fernandez through too. I thought I saw Martin making a move in the back of the picture. The world champion is up into 8th place. He has just passed Jack Miller, causing 3
good to see as well, Martin. I think if you'd have said to him pre-weekend, you might come out to this Grand Prix snap your hand off. It's been some recovery, some satisfaction, hasn't it, for Martin? It's his factory Aprilia colleague, in Brno. They drop down into this heavy downhill braking zone for turn 10. Schwartzkopf, this is where Bersecki clouded the back of Quartararo in the sprint yesterday. Lost all of his left aero and made that potentially for the RSGP a real handful for the second half of that sprint. Really struggled for downforce in the braking zones. Bears looking up for the battle.
Casey and Alba were doing 154s around this newly resurfaced Brno circuit. 154s for the top 3. Bagnaia is getting up to speed, but still on a 154.7. Bagnaia, of course, losing those 2 places in fairly quick succession after that mistake at the end of the first lap. He's now starting to get up to speed. A 54.0 for Marco Bezzecchi. On the KTM in third, and they continue to get Bagnaia.
He has got brilliant pace in the early part of this Grand Prix. Bears 4 laps of 72 cars in the through. Of course, it was roles reversed, wasn't it, the Dutch TT in Assen, where it was Bears who spent pretty much the whole of that Grand Prix in the Netherlands due to the finding their way through to the victory. It was an unbelievable defensive ride by Mark on that occasion. This time, though, he's going to be on the front foot. He's going to be on the offensive, trying to find a way through on Bez.
It's a bit of thinking on his feet being done here by Marco Antonio, because he only ran the medium rear tyre for around 6 laps in one this morning. Those were the first laps he did on that medium rear tyre. Everything else he did through the weekend was on the so it's like he doesn't have any real information as to how that tyre is going to perform over this kind of distance already on that 5. This is as much money as he's done on that medium rear.
Bagnaya's got nothing for the top 3 at the moment. The coming for Bagnaia. He's been closed down here, as you can see at the top of your picture, by his former Ducati teammate, Bastianini. The beast 4/10 behind his fellow Italian. So desperately trying to dispense Bagnaia ahead of him and then try and see if he can get
55-6 on the previous lap because he was being overtaken by the process. He's now dropped 2 seconds away from Ralph Fernandez. So once again, Yamaha very quick over 1 lap, but not quite able to race distance. Next one, the guy behind Cotawaro is, of course, the world champion Jorge Martin. He's still in that battle with Tim Miller.
Long way to go here in the Grand Prix of Czechia. Second's not been able to check out at the front of this Grand Prix as yet. Tough old mission that, isn't it, when you've got Marc Marquez jumping in behind you. Instead of the championship, it's been a hell of a day for Alex Marquez. 2 DNFs now in the last 3 Grand Prix. He's gone from Mark to now being over 100 points back. He was the world champion leader. Mark, we know how good he is on the brakes into turn 3. That's where we made both moves on Bagnaia. Just see how much trophy in there. Best second, just letting the Italian know I'm right here.
Continues to circle over about 6 laps to the second behind us as we ride on board with the 93. There is leader. He was within a second of the lead and still every little bit quicker than Pecco Bagnaia in 4th place. Even a personal best for Bagnaia last time around was still no quicker. In fact, it was a 10 slower than the KTMs both immediately ahead of him and behind him.
Martin still winning. Say 8th places feel like wins, but I think that will be the case as far as Martin is concerned. They drop down into the hill. Bastianini has got through on Bagnaia, and so the beast now is charged through the pack, just continues a hot right through Butler style, isn't it? As far as the beast is concerned, Bagnaia now has latest. Bastianini in 4th and Acosta in 3rd. 1.2 seconds. Full time with us. We're only just coming up to 3rd race distance here. Bastianini, the ultimate MotoGP time whisperer, has got so much time to get himself into the top 3 hunts.
Absolutely nothing wrong with the turn of that KTM, was it? In the stadium section there. We're getting over the line now. He did a 54.6 even with the overtake. It's only 10 slower than the leaders were going as the pace has now dropped into the mid 154. So I think Bastianini, good point that Jack made yesterday, in that he doesn't have any sort of mental baggage around this circuit from previous experience on a Ducati. Last time he rode any sort of bike here, Bastianini was winning the Moto 2 race in 2020. So that's mind and a clear mind on that KTM. He's doing a fine job on it.
Yeah, likewise for Acosta, of course, he was. Oh, that's a huge one. That's a huge crash. It's for an air Bastianini. We're going to be keeping a close eye. Has the airbase? We'll have to have a red flag. So the pace was just a little bit too hot. Really constrained. Look at that. Oh, it just twitched. It twitched, didn't it? And then I think the rear twitched and overpowered the front end there. And yeah, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the state of that airbag. Heading hands for senior KTM management. At least they've still got 1 bike competing for the final. Just about to say, Costa, what a stellar job he's doing. 2 riders coming into this Brno weekend in MotoGP. Flipping Aldegar, never cut a single lap around Brno.
Looking a little bit up there into turn 10, but you can then fire it out from a late apex again and try towards turn 11 and 12. They've got around about another minute before the field come back into that zone again, into turn 3. Yellow flags are now cleared. Let's hope they're not replaced by a red.
Marquez really is. Especially past that second gear. He's seems pretty content at the moment, just a
Total
right
teh,
slingshot
putri
running
Karina
around
pergi
behind
minggu
Besser. Stands right there, not too confident.
ada 6 kilo
Leads by just over 10.5. The Costas
Kata mama bujang
almost 3/4 of a second back there in third place. Of course, the beast exit has now given Costa a 2-second buffer back to Bagnaia. And after what was their disagreement trackside, Alex Marquez and Joan Mir have finally got back into the paddock.
Well, Marquez is going through. Top left of your screens, Marquez has finally made his move into turn 3. Betseki though will now be on the outside for 4. And Marquez visiting turn through.
Mark there just occupying the piece of tarmac that Bez so desperately craved. So we are half of 21. And now Marquez has hit the front. So that little battle here dragged Pedro Acosta right back in to the action. This Grand Prix already, 1, 2, 3, twice on this occasion to get through on that second. And now a clear road ahead of him is in time just to climb up the stretch his legs here and see what Bez has got.
And see what Costa's got too in third place. We're already seeing that what Pekka Bagnaia has is not a lot in this Czech Grand Prix at the moment. He's now coming under pressure from Raul Fernandez. They're now back blinking right on board with Bagnaia on the left-hand side of your screens. That is the fight for 4th.